Hey everybody, it's Christine Ernst, the Fat Ass Cancer Bitch, coming to you from the Cozy Reading Cottage in Sandwich, Massachusetts. It is Saturday, April 29th, and I mowed my lawn 2 days ago, which is really weird to mow your lawn before May. Pretty early. I'm not complaining. It's just weird. Weird that the lilac across the street is in bloom a month early, that the yellow magnolia is blooming 3 weeks early in our front yard. Anyways, I'm going to talk today a little bit about the obituaries and then about octopuses. But I was reading the obituaries on Sunday, as I do every single Sunday. It's my favorite part of the paper, along with Metropolitan Diary and the magazine. And I was reading the obituary of one Isabel Friedlieb, who died at 105. And it listed that she was a perpetual student, a matriarch of a large extended family, a world traveler, a world healer. And then there's a dash and it says Tikkun Olam, which is a term I'd never read before. I've been reading these obituaries for 15 years and I'd never come across Tikkun Olam. So I put the paper down and I Googled Tikkun Olam, and I learned that it is a Jewish concept from the 3rd century that means to heal the world with good works, which was beautiful. So I made a note of it and I picked the paper up, and then I went on to read the obituary of Linda Miles. I generally skip the men because they're just boring captains of industry who and their obituaries are about like how much money they made. Sometimes I'll read about a scientist or someone who has a nice face or a smile, but mostly like their pictures like from the board directory. So I just skip to the women whose stories are always much more interesting, at least in the Sunday New York Times obituaries. I read Linda Miles, who died at 83, and she had a very long, beautiful obituary, and she mentions how her favorite role was mom to her beloved daughter, Hallie, who died in 2013. And I read the rest of her obituary, and this piqued my interest. Like, oh, what happened to her daughter? So I Googled her daughter. I know I should have been an FBI profiler. And I Googled her daughter, and I read how she died of breast cancer. So there's a connection there. She spent the end of her life campaigning for better mammography for women with dense breasts. Her campaign was called Are You Dense? Which is delightful. And at the end of Hallie's obituary, it said you can donate to her favorite charity, the Tikkun Olam Fund. How fascinating to go down a rabbit hole in the obituary pages and come across this term again that I'd never encountered before. So of course it's the universe handing me something on a silver platter. Tikkun Olam. Different spellings, but Tikkunolam. Google it. I'm not sure what it means. I'm gonna write about it, but it brings me to the octopus. Gosh, I'm sorry for this long story. So octopuses. I am fascinated by octopuses because you're going to hear about the piece that I'm reading today, which was about an octopus that I learned about in some scientific publication. And then I talked about it, and then people started giving me octopuses, pictures of octopuses, little teeny octopuses, octopus Christmas ornaments, including this beautiful knitted, magnificent octopus who sits here in my writing cottage with me. So I guess this is related to Tikkun Olam in a way that I will continue to explore. But learning about the term made me think of this octopus. So this piece is called Ledge. So the submersible was on its 4th dive to the same ledge in the trench off the California coast, and she was still there. The pilot of the research vessel at the surface had begun to joke each trip, "She'll be there, man." An octopus, a female Granellodon boreopacifica, on a rocky outcrop in Monterey Bay, a mile down. After noting her presence again and again, the scientists mapping the coastline began to measure her too. Same spot every time, same distinctive scars on her tentacles, same clutch of 160 or so eggs. She'll be there, man. It took them 40 months to perceive the growing baby octopuses inside the eggs, which never got bigger than 3.3 centimeters wide. Now, you need to know that octopuses lay only a single clutch during their lifetimes, and the longest octopus brood time ever recorded was the Bathypolypus arcticus in a lab for 14 months, which is significant because octopuses guard their eggs 24/7. They do not eat, they do not hunt, they do not leave. And after their eggs hatch, they die. This mother octopus on her ledge, a mile down in a dark trench in 37-degree water, guarded her clutch of eggs for 53 months. Almost 4.5 years, recorded over 18 dives, the longest brood time of any known animal. Longer than the black alpine salamander, longer than the Magellan plunderfish, longer than benthic mysid shrimp, longer than elephants and whales and manatees and velvet worms. 4.5 years, tending and cleaning her eggs, blowing oxygenated seawater over them. She'll be there, man. It should also be noted that most octopuses only live for 1 or 2 years. Tops. Though clearly the study of deepwater species such as G. boreopacifica requires further scrutiny. Over the 18 dives and 53 months, the scientists watched her skin change from textured purple with muscular tentacles to limp and ragged, pale white. Her eyes clouded over. She'll be there, man. They saw her in September on the 17th dive, frail, translucent, clinging with her clutch to the ledge. She'll be there, man. On the last dive in late October, the egg cases were tattered and empty. The mother was gone. The scientists, also the crew and the pilot, crowded around the screen in the research vessel up at the surface and cried. Relieved that her great ordeal was over. She'll be there, man. I'm not sure why the story moves me so. It makes me cry the way the book I read to Julia as a baby made me cry. I Love You Forever. Oof, that piece of shit. That mother, her whole life dedicated to caring for her child. I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. But maybe she was just doing her job, protecting those eggs, ensuring their safety, fending off crabs, promulgating her species, just like any other Mrs. G. boreopacifica would do, which begs the question, where the hell was Mr. G. boreopacifica? She'll be there, man. But of course, we will anthropomorphize her, fascinated by the 53 months, by the biological mandate that cost her her life. Human scientists mapping a coastline, no doubt to exploit it. Notice the non-human creature doing something remarkable by human measure. She'll be there, man. As if her great sacrifice is somehow a reflection on our own ability to take care of our children. As if the 18 glimpses of this unbelievable vigil are a sort of lens into our own ideas of humanness. Are we loving enough? Are we patient enough? Am I as selfless as an octopus? She'll be there, man. Will my children say I was as dedicated? That I protected them as fiercely? Will they say I kept my eye on the prize, understood my mandate, carried it out, and then when I was done with the work of my life, with motherhood, with daughterhood, with partnerhood, with squawking, with speaking, she'll be there, man. She never shut up, man. Will they say I made a difference? Was I a shining example? Or a horrible warning? An octopus, you say. What does an octopus know of love? Gentle, sentient, intelligent creatures, they have something to teach us, I think. And please, don't ever eat them. If 53 months, a mile down in cold water in the dark, clinging to a ledge, fending off predators to protect her babies is not love, I don't know what is. May we be as patient and stalwart as the octopus, as tender and embracing May we fulfill our good purpose as courageously. May we have as much faith in our mandate. May we persist in the dark. May we and all the good we do endure. Well, I'm not sure if I connected those dots correctly. Tikkun Olam, healing the world through good work, through knowing your mandate, through having faith, through persisting in the dark. Oh, my friends, thank you for tuning in. Go out and mow your lawn. Go read a book to your kid. Take care of yourselves. Heal the world. Have an ice cream. That's still good advice. Don't eat octopuses. I'll see you next week.